everyone, how are you all doing? I'm sorry it looks like I'm not looking at the camera. I am. Look, if I turn it this way, peekaboo. But for some reason my phone is not showing that. So I'm going to turn you back to the side. It does look like I'm looking to the side, but I promise you I'm not. Ooh, weird. Okie doke. So let's get started. So as you all are aware, last week my 3 children and my 2 dogs and 12 suitcases flew from the UK to be with my husband, who was already in Victoria. We flew indirect. We flew from Heathrow to Toronto and then Toronto on to Vancouver. Now, loads of people have been freaking me out about how long immigration had been taken, and I was so stressed. In fact, I was so stressed because of the COVID issue, obviously having PCR tests done, and then the indirect flight and the dogs, that I actually had swollen up and looked like SpongeBob for almost a week. So I did go to urgent care just to double check it wasn't anything dodgy, but no. I was basically reacting to the stress levels that I was under. So we hired a minivan to take us, because we lived up near Leeds. So we hired a minivan to take obviously all the suitcases, the dogs, because I had 2 dog crates in the end. Both of them couldn't travel together. This was something I wasn't aware of, and it was because the dogs were not the same age and from the same litter. My dogs 9 and 12. They knew this. Sorry, he's 14, 9 and 14. And they knew this before we travelled, and I'd luckily gone on to make sure everything was as it should be, and I noticed that on this, so I contacted them and they were like, oh no, they need their own crates. This was a week before I flew, guys. So luckily I managed to order another crate. It came in time, so the dogs travelled in 2 separate crates. The logistics side of things for when we landed in Vancouver was for my husband to sort out. That didn't go right. I will explain that further on in the conversation. So we went down we had Premier Inn, because it was £29 a night for per room. So that was a really good price. We had express tests. Express tests were amazing. We got our results back super quickly. So we went down on Saturday, dropped the dogs off at the kennels near the airport. That's Air Pets. They're really cheap. So for 2 dogs in 1 kennel, it cost me £28 a night. And then it was £70 per dog to have their vet certification and fitness to fly done. So I had all that done at Heathrow, so I didn't have to think about it. Obviously the dogs had already had their rabies vaccinations done prior to us travelling down to Heathrow. So we dropped them all down there on the day. We went on to our hotel. That was the Saturday. On Sunday morning, first thing, so we were booked in with express tests at Heathrow Airport at 9 o'clock for 4 of us to have PCR tests done. Now, I, being the crazy neurotic person, was adamant we had to be there super early. So we were actually there an hour early, but we got in a queue and they did us straight away. So we were tested at 8 o'clock. So with all that being done, we were meant to go into London, but obviously because my face was swollen up so badly, I decided not to go on the Sunday. We went back to our hotel, we chilled, we ate takeout, we watched movies, and just waited. So by 6 p.m. that same day, we actually had our results back. I cannot describe the relief, because me and the kids have been isolating since the beginning of September, just because we were so paranoid about COVID and not wanting to fail these tests. So I literally sat and cried hysterically with my mother once I got the test results to show that we were negative. So from then, literally my face started to go down. So it was a massive stress. And then on the Monday, we had, because we flew on Tuesday, we decided, actually, you know what, we're going to go into London. We're going to do a bit of touristy stuff before we go back. So we did. We went to London. We went to the Natural History Museum. We went to M&M World and some giant sweet places and Lego and did like all that sort of stuff and had dinner out. So that was really nice with my mum before we flew out on the Tuesday. Tuesday we picked up the dogs in the morning. If you are travelling with dogs, although they say go an extra half an hour before you fly, go earlier. We went the extra half an hour before, not before we fly, sorry, before you're due to check in. So you're supposed to check in 3 hours before for long haul flights before you're due to fly. They said to us come 3.5 hours earlier, which we did, but for some reason it took so long for them to add the dogs on. We were actually stood at check-in for an hour and a half with the dogs. So we finally got the dogs checked in, we got the luggage checked in, the luggage went, the dogs stayed with us. We took the dogs to a green area at Heathrow Airport so they can go for a wee. We gave them some water. And they had something to eat first thing in the morning. I didn't want too much in their stomach because I didn't want to upset the stomach while they flew or they needed to go to the loo. We then dropped the dogs in oversized luggage and we made our way through. Now, because it had taken so long for us to check the dogs in, we literally, the gate was, they'd given us the gate. So we had, obviously because Charlie broken his leg prior to us going. He broke his leg on the 3rd of September. I had to have an operation on it for anybody that had been following all that. So I booked special assistance for him at the airport. Now, I thought it would be easy. Special assistance, it was useless. I would have been better off doing it myself. So luckily, Charlie did special assistance at Heathrow Airport only. He was booted, so he was able to obviously walk on it himself, just not do the distances that we needed him to do. So they took him and he went through and did it all, and we met him at the plane. We went through security, we did that super quick, went straight through, straight to the gate. We literally arrived at the gate, we sat down for about 10 minutes. We'd not eaten at this point, FYI guys, we were starving, so definitely go early if you've got the dogs. We got on the plane. We booked extra legroom seats. Now, as you can see, I'm a large lady. And everybody complains that you are squished because obviously when you're in the bulkhead seats, your tray is in the arm of your chair. Now, as a travel agent, I know this is the case. However, because of the plane that we went on, I specifically booked this plane because they have seats of 3, 4 and 3. So we booked the 4 middle seats and the bulkhead. Now what that does is you've got your outside seat is fixed. Both your outside seat, your aisle seats are fixed. But in the 2 in the middle, they have the arm that comes up. So if you are bigger and you do want an extra legroom seat and you don't want to be like restricted to the armrests that don't move, book one of those within the 4, either the 2 middle ones or an aisle in the middle, so that you have the leverage, so you can move that lever and you can be more comfortable. We were so comfortable. We had loads and loads of room. My husband didn't realise when he went, but the TVs are actually folded down under your seat. So if you look down, you'll be able to see your TVs and you pull them up and turn them to the side and then they click in place there. That was with Air Canada. We had a great flight. The food was, great. We had obviously complimentary drinks and snacks included on the flight. We landed in Toronto. Now, literally, immigration, when I got into that immigration room, 10 minutes, guys, straight through. But luckily, I was the front of the queue. No drama. It was so quiet. I was super, super organised. So I had a folder and I literally have, in fact, I will link a picture in here of my folder and you can see how organised it is. So everything that I needed was to hand. I didn't have to mess about. And in fact, the immigration officer commented on how well organised and the best organised he'd ever seen anybody. So he was lovely. He, everything was done and dusted straight away. So the kids got their visitor records. I travelled before my port of entry form came through. I'm still waiting for that, so I may have to flagpole. If you don't know what that is, please message me and I'll go into it a bit more with you. But that agent did say that if my immigration consultant contacted IRCC that we could request for it to be posted out. I don't know if that'll take a bit longer. I have an unofficial job offer. They can't give me an official job offer until my work permit comes through. So fingers crossed it'll be due through by next week, and then I can either flagpole or see if they'll post out to me ASAP. So that was Toronto. So we got into Toronto. Charlie didn't use the special assistance there. We didn't have time. I was worried about the time frame. We had 3 hours and 45 minutes. We had loads of time. Absolute loads of time. So we went through, we did the automated customs forms, which was stressful because you do need to declare your dogs on those customs forms. Just FYI, I declare mine, so I had no bother at all. We went through everything. We went through customs, went through immigration, super quick. We were told that all our luggage would follow straight through, including the dogs, so we didn't need to pick it up. Now, we walked past the oversized luggage area to go to the loo, and luckily we'd done that because we noticed the dogs had come through an oversized luggage. So it turned out that all our other luggage had gone all the way through. It was just we had dogs we had to go and put back through security. I paid a porter $25 to help me. So he took both the crates. He took us to where we needed to do our PCR test. Well, not mine because I'm vaccinated, but the kids had to do their PCR tests and register for their day 8. He took us there. We did all that. That was so quick. And then he took us on to security where we had to recheck the dogs in, and took us all the way through until the moment we were separated from the dogs. So that $25, freaking lifesaver, because I'd been clueless at that point, and then it would have been stressed. But because he did, literally, we followed him. He was fantastic. He was a lovely guy. Then we went through, because it was so late at night, everything was shut. So we literally we bought some crisps and chocolate and some pop just to tick us over. We were hungry. And then we waited for about an hour and a half at the gate to get our next flight. Now, when you fly into Toronto, it's on the same terminal, so it is super easy. It's a bit of a trek. Now, flight, as I said, your luggage is going through. Unless you've got dogs, make sure you go and pick them up and put them back through security. So we got on that second flight. That was squishy. That was really squishy. The domestic flight, that was interesting. We did 5 hours on that and landed in Vancouver, straight through in Vancouver, no drama. Very, very easy. Picked up the luggage dead quick. The luggage going through so fast. We got the dogs first and the luggage. Now, logistics, guys, on this side. My husband came to pick us up. Now, I said to him, how much luggage? The fact I got 2 crates. Obviously, there's 5 of us in a car. I did say to him he would need something bigger, maybe hire a U-Haul or borrow one of works trucks. Did he? Nope. He turned up in a Ford Escape. Yeah. So 2 trips later, because we had to go to the hotel, we stayed at the hotel because we live in Vancouver Island, so we'd get the ferry over the following day. 2 trips over back between the hotel and the airport to get all our stuff there. And then we discovered that we couldn't fit everybody and everything in the car. So about 600 quid's worth of dog crates and suitcases were left at the airport hotel. Cheers, Nath. All brand new suitcases. I'm so gutted. In fact, I'm not going to think about it because I'm gutted that much, because they were really nice suitcases and they were not cheap. And the dogs' crates were 160 quid each, so go figure. So they're now in Vancouver. We had a really nice night in the hotel. We then went on to the ferry. And you know what? If anybody's living in Vancouver Island and you're thinking, how are you supposed to get to the island? 100%, guys, fly into Vancouver and get that ferry, because it was stunning. In fact, I didn't get any, like, my gutted because my phone died. I didn't get any pictures or videos of it, but we were literally out at sea for about half an hour, and then we were in amongst the islands, because there's a lot of little islands before you get to the port at it's Sydney, close to Sydney, then it's Victoria. But it was stunning. It was breathtaking. The sea was clear. It was like blue. The islands were so close you could see absolutely everything. So that was an experience, and I would definitely suggest, instead of flying from Vancouver into Victoria or flying into Victoria, fly to Vancouver. It's not a lot of money to get on that ferry and ferry across, because it's definitely an experience. We then obviously drove to Souk, which is where our property is, and this is where we have been for the last week. Now, the older children are in full quarantine. They've got to stay in here, and you've got to report on ArriveCan daily for them. So they couldn't go out anywhere, but myself and my younger daughter could. I'll put some videos and some pictures in for the local from Souk. So we've been up to Souk potholes. There's a boardwalk around literally 5 minutes from my house, which takes you you see sea lions, and there's usually whales, but we've not seen any yet, but loads and loads of sea lions and crabbing and things like that. So I'll pop some videos in and some pictures in of that. We've done Dollarama because my daughter wanted to decorate the house for Halloween, because everyone's done that around here. So we went to Dollarama, bought a load of Halloween stuff. I'm really sorry about how movie this camera is, but one of the things that we left was the tripod for the camera, so sorry. So I'll pop a video in as well of how the house looks with the Halloween stuff on. So we've been to Dollarama, I think we've been to Bed Bath & Beyond, Bath & Body Works, we've been to Walmart, the Canadian Superstore. I've found Canadian Superstore so far cheaper for food than anywhere else. Food prices are crazy. For a family of 5, we are averaging around about $250 to $300 a week in food. And that's been tight in meal planning, guys, so just be prepared for that. We are going to look at a car this weekend. My husband's got works car until the 3rd of November, so we're looking at a car tomorrow. I'll do a vlog on that as well, and obviously trying to get insurance and bits and pieces and what you need to get a car. Obviously, I've not got a bank account yet because I am yet to get my work permit, so I can't get my SIN number. So until I got that, I can't do any of that part of it. So yeah, it's I'm a bit of a go slow at the minute. Food over here is not the same as the UK, so we've tried a KFC, which I found quite dry. We've tried, what else did we do? McDonald's. Ugh. Do you know what? It's not a bad thing. You can see I'm a rather large girl, so the fact that I don't like McDonald's over here because it's so salty. Like, we had chicken nuggets, and me and my 6-year-old, we ate one between two of us, and we couldn't finish it. It's just, yeah, too salty. So yeah, that's where we are at the minute. I'm currently chilling in my bedroom. I've got a massive bed. When I say massive, like, I know it's messy, but look how far it is to the floor. I'm not kidding, I need a step. But yeah, I'm going to put some more videos in now of like the local area that we're living in and other bits and pieces. But it's been great to catch up with you. If you do have any questions, please let me know. We're now coming into the 2nd week of us being here. So when the children start school and things like that, I can give you more information on that for the area. But for now, tatty byes.